Okay, that's good. Thanks. Hello, hello. Yep. Oh, I think you need one for say also. Testing. Whoa. Testing. 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 Can you hear? Can you hear me? Yeah, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Test, test, test. I'm ready. Okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Monday evening Hoonko service. We will begin with the ringing of the kansho, followed by chanting of Shoshinge Sofu style, and it'll be on page 69 in the service book.
主 一切善悪本部に問診如来偶勢が仏言古大諸下者善人名文なりけみな仏本願念仏やけんきょまんなく修行信用十二時にな南中市南昔インド最天使論へ中華自治しこそ県内諸国聖書院妙如来本でおき釈迦如来如がせ一種五名南天に龍樹大義出頭せ質の大破うぬけ鮮烈大乗無常召喚にに小安楽天に南陽六六信用異名指導億年未打仏本願二年即義有筆上唯の上昇如来語おほ大偶勢音天神菩薩道論説異名無下公如来永主ただけ心に高専王朝大聖言こういう本願にきえこ移動軍上昇一心記入苦毒大崩壊一脈入大永主主特使連へ同世界即昇信用発祥義有本の人間人数入所事音事を下本師どんな女天使横乱消防殺来三道ルシ十条 教梵行専用気楽法天人菩薩論中下報道因果見性願お厳明故ゆたり少女心唯心人惑伝本無心人法正気正自即涅槃一心無明光明道小修上開不定同社結晶道難所唯明浄土活入万年自力変言宗円満国語感染症三不三神経音語ロマス法滅道品一生道悪知ぬれ死安女が一生妙法言道独名仏性意海上三葉脈は光明明語見因縁介入本願大智慧行者少女今後心教義一年相互用意大と逆三人特殊小子上だ原神公開一大教返金安女観一切天道修心反戦人法華二道小弁流木十悪人唯小分大薬大摂取門の証言水抜け大無限上昇が本資源空明仏教連民連幕本文理
Dharma message.
Well, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing today in this cold weather? It's cold here in Los Angeles. I'd like to thank you all for attending our first day of our week-long Hoonko observance. Hoonko means gathering to repay our indebtedness. It is the time for us to express our deep appreciation and indebtedness to our tradition's founder, Venerable Shinran, for clarifying the universal Pure Land path of the Nembutsu for all beings in this latter age. The way we express our indebtedness to the founder of our tradition is to receive this teaching for ourselves and do our best to pass on this teaching for the benefit of all beings of today and tomorrow. In our Honganji tradition, members gather to listen to Dharma lectures or messages for the week leading up to the main service. And so we at West LA Buddhist Temple have adopted this tradition in the last several years. So for this week, I would like to share messages that were given by Venerable Shinran himself and were passed on by his grandson Myoshin and recorded by his great-grandson Kakunyo. This sharing will be followed by my appreciation of the founder's words and how we might be able to appreciate his message for ourselves today. So to start off this week, I would like to share a message that Venerable Shinran gave on the essential role that Amida Buddha's light and name play in our awakening and enlightenment. So I would like to invite you to, while I read, maybe close your eyes. Don't fall asleep, but bow your heads as I read this passage. It is rather long, so please, it's not, one of the short passages that I normally read. Okay. The light of wisdom and the name of Amida Buddha are the condition and cause for our awakening and enlightenment. Amida Tathagata's 12th of 48 vows makes the following promise. My light will have no limits. This means that the light is meant to embrace the multitudes of beings through Nembutsu. Because this vow has already come to fruition, this light is unhindered and shines extensively everywhere. It illuminates all worlds in the 10 directions, down to even the smallest atom. It has been illuminating the afflictions and evil karma of the multitudes of beings for a long, long time. Thus, for the multitudes of beings who meet with this light, the darkness of ignorance will slowly dissipate. When seeds of good karma begin to sprout, one will truly hear the Buddha's name, which is the root cause established in the vow that guarantees our birth in the Pure Land through the Nembutsu. It is through this 18th vow that we will definitely be born in the fulfilled land. Thus, firmly holding on to Buddha's name is wholly due to the light of wisdom that causes us to do so. It is not through our own effort. Because of this, it is said that the light of wisdom comes about as the condition for awakening, and we receive the Buddha's name, which is the cause for our birth. For that reason, Master Shandao said, through the light and name, Amida Tathagata embraces all beings in the 10 directions and transforms them through directing a heart and mind of entrusting, and implores them to turn their hearts and minds towards Buddha. The phrase, through directing a heart and mind of entrusting and imploring them to turn their hearts and minds towards Buddha, means the light and the name are like a mother and father raising and nurturing a child. However, if there isn't a child, then the cause and condition cannot be called father or mother. If there is a child, then the words father and mother can be used. In this same way, though we may liken the light to a mother and the name to a father, even if there is a light and name, they do not exist as a mother and father without the heart and mind of entrusting, through which we are truly born in the fulfilled land. Therefore, when the heart and mind of entrusting is evoked within us, and we have the aspiration to go to the Pure Land, we recite the Buddha's name and realize we have already been compassionately enveloped by the light. Thus, without a practitioner that has a heart and mind of entrusting through the power of the name, Amida Tathagata's wish to embrace all beings is not fulfilled. Without Amida Tathagata's wish to embrace all beings, how in the world can a practitioner's wish to go to the Pure Land be fulfilled? So it is said that the fundamental vow is the Buddha's name. The Buddha's name is the fundamental vow. The fundamental vow is the practitioner, and the practitioner is the fundamental vow. These were the words of Venerable Shinran. So this message was, I think, rather confusing and deep. But the reason I selected this message for today is that for the year 2024, the theme of the year at West LA Buddhist Temple is true and real enlightenment. As we know, enlightenment is an essential element of Buddhism. This is the so-called goal of people on the Buddhist path. But for Venerable Shinran, enlightenment was not only the goal, but the dynamic activity that brings all of us to that goal. The overall theme for this week of Hoonko is being awakened by the true and real. So I would like us to note that this is not awakening to the true and real, but being awakened by the true and real. This is a very unique and crucial characteristic of Jodo Shinshu teaching of Buddhism. The true and real refers to the activity of true and real wisdom and compassion. We are all embraced within this wisdom and compassion, and so we are part of it. But at the same time, it is outside of ourselves. The reason it is outside of ourselves is that our karmic condition of 3 poisons and ignorance does not allow us to see reality as it is. I'm sure you have all seen some photos of the universe taken from satellite telescopes. They're all over the internet these days. In some of the images, the telescopes that we sent into space, not the telescopes that are on Earth, but when we send out these satellites, they send back these pictures, right, of the vast universe. In some of these images, some people have marked, this is where we are. This is where our solar system is. And we can see, the dot, the light that is our solar system, that is indicated amongst the vastness. So from this perspective, we can clearly understand that we physically are within the vastness of the space, this universe, right? So somebody could say from that perspective, we exist within space. We exist within the universe. But from our vantage point here on Earth, do we say that we live in space? Or do we say that we are here and space is out there? So in this same way, because of our three poisons, right, from the Buddha's side, Buddha sees the vastness as it is. But we do not see life or existence as it is. We can only see life or existence through our own personal filter and our own personal standpoint. This is why we live life constantly thinking, I'm right. My way of viewing the world is right, and yours is wrong. I am good, and they are bad. Why can't everybody think like me? The world would be so much easier. Why can't the world ever go the way that I want? We walk through life always having these types of thoughts. And we are thinking like this at every level of our lives, from family quarrels to extreme political views and everything in between. Because our barrier of our ignorance and three poisons is so dense, it is impossible for us to break through and overcome our suffering and afflictions on our own. Thus, out of deep sorrow, profound sorrow, deep care for all beings, seeing us living in fear and doubt, constantly living life harming ourselves and others, the activity of the true and real vowed to make itself known to all beings to show them that there is a true and real, pure realm outside of our limited, deluded view. This true and real activity appears to us as light of wisdom and the compassionate name, Namo Amida Butsu. Together we call these two aspects Amida Tathagata. Amida's light of wisdom is constantly illuminating each and every one of us, acting as a beacon or lighthouse, illuminating a path for us so that we can be liberated from this realm of delusion. In this realm of delusion, we live our lives going around and around and around and around, never able to escape the situations and challenges and hardships in life. How many of us have experienced feeling or thinking something like this? Is this all there is to life? Or why are all these things happening to me? It can feel like our hardships and challenges are unending. This light helps us to clearly see the cause of our hardships and follies, which are our three poisons, my three poisons. Our three poisons are what make it difficult for us, if not impossible, to hop out of this emotionally exhausting, unending cycle of trials and tribulations. Realizing this, we can begin to understand that relying on our own heart and mind of three poisons to find settlement and joy is futile, because all we're doing is repeating the same thing over and over. Have you ever heard the phrase, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? So as long as we think that our three poisons, living off our three poisons is the only way, then all we are doing is continuing to be lost in the darkness of ignorance. This is why the true and real light is being shown on us. Through being made aware of the light, we are being redirected from relying on the way of our three poisons towards relying on the wisdom and compassion of Tathagata. And so this revelation that we may have is not due to our own effort or calculation in any way, but it is wholly due to Buddha's light of wisdom being shined on us. It is due to this activity of light that we turn our hearts and minds to Amida Tathagata, which comes to us as the name Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu is the compassionate fulfillment of the vow that resolves to liberate us from this tiring cycle. Through Namo Amida Butsu, we are being communicated to. We are being told and encouraged that there is something warm that wishes for us to find guidance and safety. We are being told that we are not alone, that we are within this immeasurable life. We are being told that we are being thought of and cared for, that we are not alone in the vastness. It is out of this deep compassion that the light and name are given to us. It is so we can have spiritual strength, a strong foundation, and direction in life. With this foundation, we are being liberated from our mundane, cyclical life and being put on a path that has a clear direction with an ultimate endpoint, which we call the true and real realm of bliss. This is why Venerable Shinran clarified that the Buddha's name is the root cause for us going to the Pure Land. To go to the Pure Land means to be ultimately liberated from this cyclical existence, which is based on our ignorance, delusion, and self-interests. All of our going to the Pure Land is the goal of Amida's vow. This is why we call this aspiration Amida Buddha's fundamental vow. And this vow, as is what Venerable Shinran clarified, is the true teaching of the Pure Land, Jodo Shinshu. So Venerable Shinran realized Jodo Shinshu for himself and wished to share it with all others out of deep compassion for the livelihood of all beings during his time and in the future, which means us. For revealing this universal path of wisdom and compassion for us, we honor Venerable Shinran this week by earnestly listening to and reflecting on his messages. Not only this, but we participate in passing on this teaching for the benefit of not only ourselves today, but for all other living beings, present and future. Thank you very much for allowing me to share my appreciation of Venerable Shinran's teaching on this true and real activity that is caring for all of us and welcomes us and embraces all in its immeasurable life. I hope you will all continue to join us throughout the week as we continue to listen to and receive this true and real wisdom and compassion. Tomorrow I will continue to share Venerable Shinran's teaching on being awakened to the reality of ourselves through this light. So I would like to thank you again very much for attending this first night of Hoonko and invite you to please join me in Gassho as we recite Nembutsu. Namandaps, 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 namandaps. Namandaps.
Thank you, Reverend Umezu, for your message this evening. We will now have the reading of Ryogemon.
Please join me in reading the Ryogemon by Master Renyo. We rely upon Amida Buddha with our whole heart for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining from all sundry practices and teachings, and giving up the trust in our imperfect view. There is no doubt that the assurance of enlightenment comes at the very moment we enter us, and we recite the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, in joy and gratitude for the Buddha's compassion. We also acknowledge gratefully the benign benevolence of our founder and succeeding masters who have led us to live in this profound teaching, and we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. 両下出言、もろもろの 造業奪取、自力の心を振り捨てて、一心に阿弥陀如来、我らが今度の一大事の御所、御助け総来と頼み申して候。頼む一年の時、往生一条御助け事情と存じ、この上の称名は言放射と存じ、喜び申し候。断り弔問申し上げ候こと、ご解散承認ご出世のご恩、次第相乗の弁理式の朝からざるご関係のご恩と、ありがたく存じ候。この上は定めおかせらるる恩をきて、一号限り守り申すべく候。何万ダス、何万ダス、何万ダス、何万ダス、何万。
Okay, so a few announcements. So tomorrow evening, we would like again for those of you to attend our Tuesday night service. Again, it'll be at 7 p.m. and Reverend Umezu will be delivering her Dharma message. Then on Saturday the 13th is our Hoonko seminar that runs from 10 to 11:30, and our guest speaker is Reverend Kodo Umezu. And we would like, if you do plan to attend, we would like you to register at WLADharmacenter@gmail.com. And then finally on the 14th, Sunday at 10 o'clock, that will conclude the Hoonko observance, and we will have our memorial service starting at 10 a.m. And again, Reverend Kodo will be our, Reverend Kodo Umezu will be our guest speaker. So that concludes our service for this evening. Thank you to those who braved the cold tonight to come to service in person, and then also to those of you out in Zoom. So we hope to see all of you tomorrow evening. Sensei?
For coming. How long you stay?